Alright guys, now that I've got my fun video out of the way, Euphonious, I hope you enjoy it when you eventually look at it when you wake up, because I presume you're in bed or you're doing something else. You having that wank from the other day? Anyway, I found this video. I have to excuse me, I'm eating horrible sweeties from a guy called dooVoob, dooVoob, called Flawed Atheist Arguments, and he's trying to argue that you can't use the multiplicity of gods, i.e. the Hindus and the Christians and everyone else, to disprove the existence of, in his own description box, the living God. And also you can't compare Santa Claus, unicorns, fairy tales and spaghetti monsters to the historical person of Jesus Christ, for whom there is no history of ever existing except for Josephus and yeah, they are considered forged. There's a school of thought that they're forged the writings of Josephus for Jesus.
Hello guys, this is George again, and I wanted to talk about another subject which is related to the first video that I posted today about atheism. And this subject talks about the arguments that
I'm going to look at his other atheism video another day.
That atheists use against Christians. I didn't want to talk about that. Usually I don't like to talk about these things, but I think it's important.
Usually you don't like to talk about what? Atheists? On the side in suggestions, dooVoob, I see no God, no atheists. How do you know Jesus is real? Don't be affected, Jesus is the truth. Good way to judge, the real, and they're all from you. So obviously you don't like to talk about this sort of stuff, eh?
To clear out some things, because me, I don't need to believe by logical reasonings. It's not.
So basically what he's just said there, I can't believe he just has, but here let's go back and prove, folks, that this Christian does not need logic. He's saying he denies he does not need logic to believe. Well done. You have the basic definition of belief. Let's try this again, shall we?
To clear out some things, because me, I don't need to believe by logical reasonings. It's not about that, but I don't like to hear arguments like that, because I sometimes feel that these arguments will lead some people away from faith in God. And
oh no, people might start thinking for themselves.
I feel that it's not right, so that's why I want to talk about that.
So you personally think it's not right for people to think for themselves, to follow the path of truth, in case it leads them away from your God and your beliefs. Now, boo fucking who? Get over it, you cunt. Oh, today's video is not going to be sponsored by Budweiser 66. This stuff's disgusting. I only bought it to try it, and America, when will you learn to make a decent fucking alcoholic drink other than Jack Daniels? Especially when it comes to lagers. This stuff's disgusting. And I've got another 5 to go. It's a fucking 10-pack just for a trial. Ugh. I mean, Budweiser's bad. It's not a beer, by the way, it's a lager. It's like rat's piss, and as is Miller, Coors Light as well, all the other lagers that I've ever tasted from your country. Disgusting. This one's even worse. This one's not barely carbonated. Smooth, easy taste. It tastes like shit. So to cover, I've got vodka and Iron Brew. Iron Brew is one of the things I'm offering on a prize, and it'll be a 6-pack you'll get of cans. So to do that, to win this, go to my 100 subs video and follow it.
But I will not. It's not my objective to try to reason my way, or reason people's way into to God.
No, it's your objective to fucking make them believe without reason.
So the question is that atheists usually they use different arguments to try to convince others or to present evidence that God does not exist.
Oh no! Atheists use multiple arguments. Oh no!
They will say, for example, that since there are too many religions and every religion has their own gods, they will tell you that if every religion has a god and they believe that likely their god is the truth, that you as them, you are likely to be wrong because.
Well, there's an element of truth to a straw man. It's still a straw man. The argument generally goes along the lines of this. You have no evidence for your God. Neither do any of the other religions. And yet if they're all gods, if we presume that your God exists, we've got to presume that all the other gods exist as they all based on the same evidence. Which is none. And until you provide that evidence, it's just not likely that your God exists.
Every one of them believes that it's true. So
don't believe, thinks.
By thinking that, they will tell you that God is not true. So I don't understand the relation between the two, because this
obviously you don't.
Question is not related. We have two questions. The first question is whether God. It's the only two possibilities. It's whether God exists or not. This is the first question.
Well done. Whether your God exists or not, that is one of many possibilities for an atheist. Because we don't believe in all gods. That's right, we don't believe in all gods, not just yours.
And the second question, which is, who is God? So
the second question, which is, who is God? Really? Because atheists don't tend to ask, who is God?
You cannot use the question of who is God to try to disprove that God exists. It's not, it doesn't work like that.
I've never heard that argument before, pal.
The question of whether God exists or not is not dependent or related to the other question of who God is. So this is...
Quit strawmanning. Good grief. Who God is pretty obvious from your fucking Bible.
The first thing. The second thing is the arguments of the unicorns and the spaghetti monsters, and sometimes we hear about Santa Claus. So they tell you that what do you have as proof for God, since if you believe in God, you have to present proof, otherwise we don't have proof that Santa does not exist.
What you were saying there was that atheists were saying you don't have proof of God, and without proof of God, there's no proof that Santa exists. That's exactly what you just said. Okay, I don't think English might be your first language. You might be having a struggle trying to say it in English. I don't know. There's no proof of God out with the Bible, and the Bible cannot be taken as proof. There's no proof for Santa. Oh, by the way, if you have wee bairns, make sure they're not in the room for this part. We know what Santa is. Santa is made up. Yet to a child, he is not. To a child, he does exist. Right up to the point we tell him he's not. The correlation is the same. As far as you're concerned, your God exists. Right up until the point where you realise he doesn't. Much like a child's view of Santa.
We are likely to believe in Santa since it's the same thing. First,
not the same thing, but it's similar.
It's very, I don't understand the rationality in that, because...
We've realised that, pal. It's because you're thick.
It's really, you can't compare Santa Claus with Jesus Christ.
Yes, you can. They're both fictional characters.
First, Santa Claus and unicorns. I don't think that many people believe in that. It's not.
You're right, many people don't believe in them, except all the little kiddies in the world that are told about them. However, unicorns are in your Bible, pal. I suggest you read it.
The majority of the people who believe in Santa Claus. Santa Claus did not come as a man, and scholars do not believe that he really walked on this earth.
No, scholars know fine that a guy walked on the earth like Santa back in history. There's evidence for that. The current form of Santa that we think of as Santa was a Turkish idea. In Russia, well, former Russia, that area, Eastern European area, there was a guy that did go around doing this in a small area, and it spread, the idea. There is no proof whatsoever that your Jesus Christ existed, except Josephus's writings, which there's a major argument about whether or not they were either false, either altered, or whether they're true amongst scholars.
And neither the unicorns, there weren't any historical written documents about unicorns.
Bible.
And especially not eyewitnesses who died for the unicorns. So
Bible.
We have to compare the right way. You can't use
And what is the right way? Is it your way?
anything and try to disprove God or Jesus Christ by talking about Santa Claus. It's really, I find it very stupid, but I don't know. It seems that they like using these arguments to try to disprove God. I'm not.
Could it be because they do disprove God to a degree? Could it be because Christians like yourself can't come up with an answer? Could that be why it is?
Think that people who use that are stupid because an argument, people say a lot of stuff, and me, I'm not to judge them,
But you are judging.
I only find the argument a little flaw, and
By saying an argument is flawed, by saying people are stupid that use it, you are judging.
a bit stupid. I don't know why some people, maybe some people find it logical, but I can't see the logic in it. So
Well, that's obvious.
that's it. I just want to talk about these two subjects, and as I said, me,
Which you didn't really touch upon at all.
honestly, I don't believe that we have to get close to Jesus by these kinds of reflections, but I just.
What? You don't believe you have to get close to Jesus by these type of reflections? What reflections? You were discussing atheism. Atheism isn't trying to get close. Atheists do not try to get close to Jesus. A lot of atheists did wish to believe that Jesus was real, but they discovered that they couldn't believe in him because there was no evidence. There was nothing to say that he existed. And the Bible they realised was flawed. Not me. I was never a Christian. Sure, I had whole praying before school started, pish back in the 80s. Going to church in the 80s, but I never took to it.
Wanted to clear that out because I hear that too often, and it's a bit too much and illogical to me. So thank you guys again, and God bless you.
Oh, wonderful. Have your God bless me. It means fuck all. And that's the end of that. So, dooVoob. Here's a brief summary of what we've just seen, apart from me, obviously. Or rather, heard, in this case. You cannot understand another person's argument, so it must be stupid. You cannot understand the views of other people who have different views than you, so they must be stupid. But you're not judging. Yeah. Okay. Now, as mentioned at the start of the video, I have a competition running just now. We're a week in and no one's entered, which saves me some money. However, if you do want to enter, go to my 100 subs video. Woohoo 100 subs. I'll link it in a annotation full of rules and supply a video response. Okay folks. Javonius The alliance is strong.